I'm going to start trying to film again every day. But listen to my voice. It is sounding some kind of down, right? I was feeling some type of way this morning. And then I text messaged my friend Tom. And he said that he was feeling kind of depressed. He said he was feeling incapable, something, insignificant, unable to make significant changes, and lonely. You put a whole list on there. Now, he has changed jobs and houses for the better. Like, if you saw his house, you would think it belonged in a movie. Like where they had like the mansion parties or whatever. It's like very, very modern. Pool in the backyard, gated community, blah, blah, blah. So I know that it really doesn't matter how much you have. Like, I stress that over and over again. It absolutely does not matter if you live in an apartment or if you live in a big house by yourself. Everybody gets down. For me, and I'm just going to stay on this one particular end of the spectrum, I think a lot of it is people are spending way too much time alone. You know, and they're getting so many of their needs met. So it takes the mind off of struggle, and then your mind just like goes to wondering, you know. And I think that if your mind is like always wondering, even if you are struggling, it's like a dangerous thing. It can put you in like dangerous territories and tell you all the things that you're not doing right. That's why it's so important to have a mindset of service, right? Help others, reach out to others, spend time with others. Like, it seems so trivial to spend time with your friends or to spend time with your family, or even just like do a few volunteer hours. Like, I'm not the biggest volunteer person. You know, it would take some effort. But Tom and myself, we're both single with no kids. It's like, why don't we do things like that? You know, he gives back a lot to his parents, so he may think that that's enough, but they don't live here. And I just think that if he, you know, reached out more and made more of a free impact. And free is important, not being paid for it. Just going out there and socializing and really not just always looking to get something out of every situation. I think that's how people come up depleted, is when you're always expecting something out of every situation. That can make you run on empty so much. It's like if you keep going to Disneyland every single day expecting to get that same high every single day, when it stops giving you that, you probably will get depressed, you know? And that's how adults, I'm looking for my mirror, that's how adults live their lives. Some of them, success-driven ones, live their lives about their jobs and stuff like that. They get these jobs, or they get this salary mindset where, oh, if I make a certain amount of money per year, then that's going to be my Disneyland. I'm straight, I'm set, or I'm going to keep climbing. And then it's like, but you don't lay down with any of that, you know? I think it's important to have somebody in your life, like companionship, even if it's just your kids or your mom or whatever. That's one of the cons of being like a relocated person. Most people that I talk to here, all people that I talk to here are actually relocated here. They don't really have the roots here. And it's up to you to decide where you're going to put down the roots. And I would have thought, because he has the house and stuff like that, that he would, you know, try harder. But I can also say, this is the outside looking in, and as I talk about him, I'm also talking about myself. It is so easy. It's not how I feel, just the blues, that's all. It's how I feel. Just, and see, he knows it. He's like, you know, like in his feelings. But I like, and he'll probably be like, want to go on a trip and stuff like that. Now he's asking me how I'm doing. I'm going to say, I feel the same way you feel. And I'm going back to like the whole tangent thing. It's narcissism, right? When you get so caught up in your own reflection in the mirror, it can start to look really bad to you. You can start to pull out all of the flaws instead of all of the good. And so I think like being alone contributes to feeling down about yourself. I hate to use the word depression because it's such like a heavy word to use, but I'll just say like feeling down. Like sometimes you just wake up and you just don't feel like, especially on Mondays, you also got to question if you hate your job or not. Girl, you gotta put that question in there too. You know, are you doing something that really satisfies and fulfills you? My face is broken out again this week. Why? And it's just crazy though. Like sometimes I feel like I'm not doing, and that was like so on my mind this morning. Like, oh man, I gotta do more, and I do have to do more. I can't play around with it. Like I absolutely have to do more. I absolutely have to make some changes for my own happiness. I've got to get into this place of where I feel like that I'm building and that I want to be. Like I would never buy a house here in Houston. If that happens, y'all come check my temperature. Because girlfriend, well, I am not myself. I'm not like really like a homeowner type person anyways. As being a single, I know a lot of single women do it. But for me, it just doesn't appeal, right? Because I'm just like, what am I going to go do? Sit in a different room every week, like every weekday? Oh, on Monday, I'm going to sit in this room, you know? So that would kind of like get me down if I was in a big empty house by myself. But just food for thought about doing things for free, hanging out with people. I'm not talking to just like your average complaining people that go to barbecues all the time. I'm talking about people who are really success-minded and really future-minded. They get so caught up on reaching their goals and having this positive energy, this positive life, and helping those that they can, that they know. And then one day they wake up and they're like, you know what, I'm feeling down. I'm feeling like depressed. Nobody really checks on those people, right? Because everybody thinks that they have it going on. I just randomly like sent him a text message this morning. I'm going to text message him back as well. And like sometimes, I don't know what it is, but I end up flaking a lot on him. Like we don't see each other that much. We really don't. I don't know. I think I just... Like sometimes he can be like narcissistic, I would say, like, but so am I. I can have like a whole conversation by myself. Literally as I talk to you guys, right? But it's like you want to feel that people care, and I think caring helps to avoid depression. If you care about something bigger than yourself, it's less likely that you're going to feel like so down. Like, yes, it's going to be there, but you'll be able to fight it off because you're like, you know what, I got things to do. I can go about and do this thing instead of just thinking all day long. Like, he works from home too. So, and we used to go out to lunch and stuff, but then he moved over there to the high society suburbs. Like, I live in a high society suburb too, but he's way out there. Like, we live like an hour apart. So, I don't know, like, sometimes you see yourself in other people. And I like honest people. Like, it's so rare that you can, you know, say hey to somebody in the morning and they tell you, man, I just feel down today. I enjoy that. Like, I enjoy that, the real part of life, because so many things are sugar-coated. Even when I make these videos, I'm like, do I tell them, like, what's really, you know, on my mind and what I need to do? Like, how much do you share and how much don't you share? Like, you know, it's hard to stay motivated and encouraged 365 days a year. And then especially as an adult, when you don't get those breaks, like there is no summer break. You might get a week's vacation here or 2 weeks there, but it's not like this. It's like you've got to create all of this. Every single thing that you want. So, I don't know. I hope you guys got something out of this. I know exactly what I mean. And just get outside of your own mind. Check up on people. Know that you're not the only one that has down days or down moments or moments when you feel like you're not doing anything. Nothing makes a difference. Like, he's like incapable of making significant changes. I'm like, you got a great job and a great house, like new ones, quite recently, like if not less than a year ago, like very close upon it. So that's like crazy. It's like, you know, and that's why it's important to have friends that do lift you up. I don't know, should I drive across town to go have a drink with him? I might do that. An hour drive just to go have a drink with a friend. And I'm sure he has many, you know, people, but is he really being real with people, you know? And sometimes it's not even about being real with people, it's about being real with yourself. Maybe he was trying to prove something to himself that he no longer needs to prove. Like, living all the way out there in the freaking suburbs as a single minority person is not a good idea. I'm just telling you now. Nobody wants to drive all the way out there. Okay? So, yeah, I don't want this video to cut off. I hope you guys got something out of it, like I said, about just, it's all about just like recalibrating and knowing that you're going to have those down moments, reaching out, not being a narcissist, taking a look in the mirror and not just seeing the good or the bad, but seeing it all, like having a good balance on yourself, but not beating yourself up too much. Like I always say, don't beat yourself up because you're going to have to pick yourself right back up. So You know, change is upon us. It's, you know, our life changes us in different ways, and we see different people living in certain kind of ways, and maybe it doesn't match up to what we thought would make us smile. So I'm going to keep text messaging him and putting this makeup on his face that wants to break out. I think the only reason why I'm breaking out is because, I don't know, working out. What could make me break out like this? Not sleeping with my makeup on. I sleep on my arm too. That's another bad thing I do. I think that has a lot to do with it. Is my sleeping side? Because I sleep like this? I think it is. And like, I wake up and that part of my face is like sweaty. So I'm sure that could make a girl have some breakouts there, which sucks. Now I'm just rambling. I'm just gonna let the video stop on its own. I asked you guys how you're doing. I really don't like my makeup today. I'm having a down day today. I'm having an off day today. I'm wearing my hair just like this to work, girl. Girl. Looking like I'm straight like Mob Wives. Straight out of Jersey somewhere, girl. I'm on this special project. You guys pray for me that I am able to make some difference in my desk at my job. It's like to reduce my workload, but I've got to reduce it. And the next 2 weeks, I'm not doing my typical job. I'm only doing part of it. And I'm kind of stressed. And I immediately got down about this one. I'm like, God, what if I'm not successful at this? Like, what if I'm the worst and I need to be like the best at it? I wanted to get to work early. That didn't happen. I'm thinking about getting a part-time job because I do want and need more money to save up money. You know, there's a lot of, it's just like, sometimes you just feel like it's never enough, and I beat myself up. I'm like, no, it's always enough. It's up to you to change your mindset to be like, okay, it's enough. Now, what do I do with what I have kind of situation? But I do want to get a part-time job because I've been kind of like working less at my day job that I have at my because, you know, I'm on salary, so it doesn't make any difference about how much I work. So I was putting a lot of hours into it, and then after this year's review, I stopped doing that. It just wasn't. But it's like, do I get a part-time or do I just replace the day job? Because, you know, I could probably make more doing the same thing. Like, how do you guys feel about that as you get older? Do you just go for a higher level position so you can make more money sometimes? Or do you get like a part-time job just to switch it up because you don't really know what you want to do kind of thing? Like, I really desire to do something creative. I really do, like the business side of creativity. Like, I don't know, I'm really like something about that.